Shalom, shalom, Yasharallah. This is your brother Benaiah coming to you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But first, let us give all honor, all glory, all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rukah HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles, prophets, and teachers of Great Millstone who have taught us this truth and who are the true men of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai on the earth today. Now the lesson today will be going into wine. Is wine lawful to consume? You know, we grew up in the Christian church hearing it is a sin to drink wine, partake in alcohol. And they would use such scripture as it says, I think it's in Psalms, where it says, wine is a mocker, strong drinks are raging. Whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. And they use that as one of their scriptures to say that proves that the drinking of wine, the consuming of wine, is a sin. But is that what the Bible actually says? Is that the case? We have the account of Yahushua turning water into wine. And what they would tell you, it was non-alcoholic wine, which makes no sense. The very use of the word wine means something is fermented, the fermentation process, right? So Yahushua did not create non-alcoholic wine. There is no such thing as non-alcoholic wine. There's no such thing. Now, if that was a transgression, why would Yahushua create wine at the wedding feast? If it was such a transgression, why did Noah drink wine and get drunk? Why the Bible never said he committed a sin by doing so? You see, when you don't study the scriptures for yourself, you're going to be easily swayed because you are simple in understanding. You're going to believe what these people tell you without really checking on it for yourself. So let's see what the scripture actually says about wine. We're going to the book of Ecclesiasticus. Second Ecclesiasticus chapter 31. And we're starting from verse 27. It says, wine is as good as life to a man. Wine is as good as life to a man if it be drunk moderately. So drinking alcohol is not a sin, right? Consuming it in excess, that's where the transgression comes in, because this is why we're supposed to be temperate in all things, meaning having self-control. Self-control is necessary for an individual to maintain a healthy lifestyle, both physically and spiritually. Balance. So the scripture is saying wine is as good as life to a man if it be drunk moderately. What life is then to a man that is without wine? For it was made to make men glad. Right? So look, let's go to this priest. That's Proverbs 16:32, which says, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. So the first obstacle you must overcome, the first enemy you must defeat would be self, your desires. Right? So the scripture clearly says, he that ruleth his spirit is better than he that taketh a city. Because when you look throughout history, many a mighty man who have conquered cities and countries were always done in by their desires, the overindulgence of their desires. They had no self-control. So when we go back to book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 31, where it says, wine is as good as life to a man if it be drunk moderately, showing you that you can partake of wine. It just must be done in moderation because, for example, honey is sweet. Honey has many medicinal benefits to it. But if honey is consumed greedily, far above the threshold what your body requires, you can develop illnesses. So, self-control, being temperate is the key. Because the scripture did say wine was made to make men glad. Verse 28. Wine measurably drunk and in season bringeth gladness of the heart and cheerfulness of the mind. So wine measurably drunk in season, this is why we in this truth, we tend to usually drink wine more so at the feast days. The various feast day celebrations that we were told to keep in the scriptures. This is why we usually drink wine around this time. And we do it not in excess, but we do it in temperance. We don't drink that wine to be overly drunk, where we're not in control of our thoughts and our actions. Right? So let's give a precept to go with that. We drink wine wisely. You have to be applying wisdom in all aspects of your life. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 7. It says, and if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues. For she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. So wisdom is going to, operating in wisdom is going to give you that temperance that you need to have, to wisely consume wine, but not to overindulge as to become drunken, to become addicted, and to become foolish as a result of being overly drunken with wine. Right, so we're going back to Sirach 31. Right? Wine measurably drunk and in season bringeth gladness of the heart and cheerfulness of the mind. Verse 29. But wine drunken with excess maketh bitterness of the mind, with brawling and quarreling. This is why when you look at clubs and bars and pubs, those who overindulge in wine, they are the ones who always display that rowdy, reckless behavior, being both a danger to themselves and to those around them, destroying property. So they are the ones who partaking in wine in excess, and as a result have made themselves fools. Right? Verse 30. Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool till he offend. It diminisheth strength and maketh wounds. So to the foolish man who don't have no self-control in no area or aspects of his life, him partaking in alcohol or wine, he's not going to do so with any form or measure of restraint. Just as how he overindulges with everything in his life, he's going to overindulge in wine. And as a result, being in that drunken state, he becomes highly aggressive, both verbally and physically, which can result in harm, as I said, to both himself and to persons around him. Verse 31 now. Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise him not in his mirth. Give him no despiteful words, and press not upon him with urging him to drink. So you see a neighbor partaking in a little wine and he drinking. Don't go and try to tell him, hey, that is a sin. Christians like to tell us, hey, that is a sin to consume wine. No. And also, if you notice here, as the second part of the verse is saying, and press not upon him with urging him to drink, meaning trying to say, when he said he has enough, for instance, I think I had enough there. And you're trying to convince him to continue drinking because you want to get him in that drunken state. You know, you're not supposed to be doing that. Wine is the consumption of wine is not a sin. The sin can arise based on your overindulgence in wine and the actions you carry out as a result of that overindulgence. Let's go to 2 Peter. 2 Peter chapter 1, 5 to 7. It says, and besides this, given all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to your virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance. Now, temperance is self-control. So, having the knowledge that wine is not a sin to consume, but you must consume it with self-restraint, where you wouldn't be in a position to be drunken and to behave like a fool, you would know to do so by having the knowledge of it. And to temperance, patience. You see, when you learn to control your behavior patterns, you know, you are no longer in a place where you overindulge in things and activities. You're in a place where you can exhibit patience. Well, a person who has self-control is a patient person. And to patience, godliness. And to godliness, brotherly kindness. And to brotherly kindness, charity. Next precept, Galatians 5. Verses 22 and 23. It says, but the fruits of the Spirit is love. Love is, what is love according to the scripture? Love is the keeping of the law. In the law, does it say drinking alcohol is a sin? No, it doesn't, because in the law, we offer wine as a sacrifice also to the Most High on various feast days. For the Passover, we have Passover coming up. Wine is consumed at Passover. It's not a sin. But the fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Temperance being self-control. Against such there is no law. We have a precept that says, be angry and sin not. And you have been taught that being angry or getting angry is a sin. No, it's not. Getting angry is not a sin. Because even our Creator, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, gets angry. And as a result of that anger, there's particular actions he carry out. So are we accusing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of committing sin? That would be pretty foolish. But what he tells us to do, be angry and sin not. Don't let your anger control you to the point where you commit sin. Scripture says the righteous is angry at the wicked every day. Scripture says, David said, do I not hate them that hate thee, O Lord? I hate them with perfect hatred. You're supposed to hate sin. You're supposed to hate the wicked. You're not supposed to hate your brother without a cause, especially as the scriptures say. This is where, to get the understanding to these biblical principles and truth, you must follow Isaiah 28, 9 and 10. You must follow Isaiah 8 and 20. You must follow Psalms 119 verse 104 to get the understanding. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I am your brother Abaniah saying shalom till the next lesson.